Hello again, Junior Interactive Media. We are still on Chapter 10, and we are now doing Lesson 4, which will complete our chapter, at least the main work in the chapter, and we are in Adobe InDesign CS6 Revealed. What we're going to be doing in this lesson, now that we've learned how to assemble a book and how to create a table of contents, is in most nonfiction books, at the end, you have some form of index. And an index is a listing of significant words or phrases or topics in the book itself, and then giving a page reference. It too is in alphabetical order. So we're going to learn how to create index entries and how to generate an index, and they're both very straightforward. There's nothing difficult about it, but like most things, the devil is in the details. And when you are looking up, say you have an affinity for Yorkshire Terriers, well, do you look under Y for Yorkie or Yorkshire, or do you look under T for Terrier? Well, so by generating what's called a cross-reference index entry, you can take care of all of that, all of those problems. And so it's kind of a linguistic thing. If something may be known officially by one name and unofficially by several others, you can also enter those into a cross-reference index entry. And it just makes it easier if you take your time and do it and are thorough about it. It makes it easier for the reader to get where they need to go. And therefore it lends more utility to the book. You also need to know how to sort index entries. And in this case, with the linguistic thing, you may want to go, instead of by different names that something might have, different topics, or different topics. I'll stick with that. So those are the four things we're going to be doing. And the first thing that we're going to do is to create an index. We are on page 1026. And what I'd like you to do now is to open. It's not really on there. It's not open on mine. But to open the book, Toy Breeds, or Dog Breeds rather. So we're going to open that right now. Opening. And as you can see, what we did before is now up. We're on page 1026, and we're going to create, as I said, an index entry. So on the book panel, now if it's not open, go ahead to File, Open, and open the book Dog Breeds. Double click Toy Breeds. Don't update links, and we have the first two pages of the book showing. Okay, at this point, go to Window, Type and Tables, and too quick on the trigger finger. Window, Type and Tables, Index. And this brings up the Index dialog box. Now, the interesting thing to note here are these little triangles. And you can go on A, and you see that it's Affenpinscher. Well, what does that mean? Well, click the little arrow again. That tells us that it is mentioned on page 93. Under B, we've got a Brussels Griffon, and that's page 94. C, Chihuahua, page 100, and the Chinese Crested on page 103. Now, if you scroll all the way down to the S's, and that's what we're concerned with here, you are going to click the triangle, and we have a Shih Tzu, and notice that's the only breed under there. Okay, now go over and open your Pages panel if you would, and if you need to move this out of the way, do so. And notice we're on page 91. If you're not there, scroll down to it. And then click the Type tool if it's not selected. Move anything out of the way that needs moving. And then highlight the name right there at the top, Silky Terrier. Now when you have that selected, go back over here to the index panel and notice the buttons along the bottom, and 3 of them are active, 2 are not. We are concerned with the middle button, which is, the right hand button, which is create a new index entry. We'll get to that middle button in a minute. Go ahead and click that, and it is at topic level 1. We'll discuss that in greater detail later. Note that at topic level 1 it says Silky Terrier, and down here it says current page. That's all we need to do right now, so click OK. Now if we go back to our index, notice the name Silky Terrier has been added to our index automatically. So now that we've done that, go up to File, Save, and then go ahead and you can close toybreeds.indd. Okay, moving along to the top of page 10-27, go to File, Open, and wherever, oops, I think I was in the right place, open document 10-7.indd, and go ahead and save this as, do a save as, and simply save that as index. Once you've got that done, go down, let's get this up in the middle here where we can see it a little better, your book panel, and go to the bottom, click Add Documents, and then you are going to add index.indd, click Open, and your index has appeared at the bottom. If for whatever reason it appeared anywhere but at the bottom, drag it down to the bottom. It, like any other page, moves. So it is possible to put the index in the middle of a book. Why you'd ever want to do that, I have no idea. So now we're going to click, oops, sorry about that. I realized that my index panel was missing. So go to, if yours is too, go to Window, type in Tables, Index, open it back up as I needed to do with mine. Excuse me. And now you're going to go down here to the Generate Index button. And that brings up the Generate Index dialog box. Now the title index is already in a text frame. Oops, it's going to let me move this. Nope, it's not going to let me move this. You'll have to trust me. The word index is already up there, so you don't want that inserted. So we're going to remove the title that exists in the Generate Index box. And you could put virtually anything in there if you wanted to, if you had a reason to do it. And that's the reason for it. The next thing you're going to do is uncheck Replace Existing Index, and you are going to check, if you would please, Include Book Documents. Now it should look, if you have your book open to page 10-27, your Generate Index dialog box should look just like the dialog box on that page. At that point, click OK. And then I have to move certain dialogues out of here so that I can do what I need to do, which is the same thing we did with the table of contents. You have a loaded cursor, take it up here until it changes into the corner bracket, click, and voila. And by the way, I should mention that one of the issues that I have here is that I have to use a reduced size screen in order to upload to YouTube. So that's why I'm kind of tripping over myself with all these panels, and it's actually just easier at times to move them out of the way. So I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so now what I want you to do is go ahead, and if you see any bad breaks like the C, this column should be adjusted so it starts at the top of the next, and just go through and generally adjust everything until it is to your satisfaction. That's the only one I'm really seeing. Well, M could probably be put, you're splitting the M's between two pages, so you probably would want to adjust that as well. I'm going to leave that to you to do, and I am going to start the rest of this on a second video so that we're not getting too long. So this is the end of part one. Go ahead and save the file, and then click Save Book on the let's open that up right there. Under dog breeds, go ahead and Save Book. And notice your Save Book icon will be slightly different than mine. And that's it for part one.